What's going on? You already know we're back at it again with another episode. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, the number one, coffee morning show, cryptocurrency morning show in the world where we get extremely bullish on nothing but, crypto content. And you already know, y'all know where y'all can come. If you got your coffee, go ahead and turn your cameras on real quick, and put your coffee up. If you got your coffee, go ahead and put your coffee up one time, And if you got your water, all right, I got my spoon in my coffee. I was stirring it in, but put your coffee up. Shout out to each and every single one of y'all that are tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Listen, if you do not take the time to drop the link, man, go drop this link. Send this link out to somebody. Again, this is an open call for everybody. I'm really excited to have y'all here this morning because, again, it's been another crazy week. It's a lot of crazy information that's going on in the cryptocurrency space. And, really excited. Travis, what's going on? Good morning to you, bro.
What's up, my brother? Good morning. How you feeling? Oh,
I'm feeling bullish, man. I've been in the rabbit hole all morning. So I'm feeling really bullish, bro. And I got my coffee. So I'm ready, man.
Awesome, bro. I'm excited too. I had a great day yesterday. Connected with some God has just been moving my life, bro. God has been moving in my life. Connected with I'll talk to you a little bit about it, but I want to show everybody what's going on here in a bit.
All right. Yeah. So let's get straight to it, guys. So today on Coffee and Crypto, it's a lot of information, it's a lot of moving pieces, and it's getting more and more spicy as the days move on, right? So before we actually get into all of the bullish content that we have for you today, the first thing that I want to do is we're going to pull up coin market cap. So we need to go ahead and go over the current state of the market in cryptocurrency. There's right now 19,766 different cryptocurrencies in the market today. All right, there's literally 525 different exchanges right now in the market that's available. $1.2 trillion market cap, down from almost a $3 trillion market cap last year. So you guys know we buy the blood in the streets. These are the perfect times to buy when the markets are down, right? Don't want to buy high. 24-hour volume is $79 billion over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is at 46.3%. Like to see that a little higher, like to see that above 50%. So it shows us what's going on right now. And Ethereum is at 17.5%. All right, and for my people who are buying NFTs, maybe on OpenSea or any of these other platforms, right now the gas is at 52 GWEI. All right, getting into even more bullish content. Bitcoin right now is under $30,000, down 5.6% over the last 7 days, which is, Bitcoin, again, 30,000 was that level that they said it wouldn't break back under. And again, it's kind of just been consolidating and going back and forth between 28, 29, 30, and 31, right? It's just been kind of consolidating. So we all know that whenever you have extended consolidation in the market, there's going to be a heavy breakout on one end. We don't know which end, but there's definitely going to be a heavy breakout at some point from all of that resistance. Ethereum's at $1,700 right now, underneath 2,000, down 9%. All right. And then we go to BNB. Oh, a lot of news on BNB right now. I'm going to drop a couple of things today. Down 10%. So you want to know why it's down 10%? You got to stay up on the news, right? Cardano coming in at number 6 and XRP dropped down to number 7 at 39 cents, right? 4.2% down on the last 7 days. All right. And as you guys can see, the market overall, all right, is red. All right, we're not in the green market today. That was yesterday. We're back down, back red, which again, may be great times to buy. Remember, guys, here on Coffee and Crypto, we are not financial advisors. All right, we are just crypto extraordinaires, people that love to invest in crypto. And all of this information that you're getting is for entertainment purposes only. So if you are looking to break and invest into this cryptocurrency space, I'd highly recommend that you go and get yourself a DeFi or some type of financial advisor. Go over these things and consider making a plan. Don't just go jump into these markets, bareback. You know what I mean? Look, you just can't do that, man. You need your protection, all right, to protect yourself from what could happen in this space. All right. Getting back to some more bullish content, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my Brave browser right now. And I'm ready to get this this party started. If y'all ready, man, light up the chat box and let's go. I got a video for you guys. It's about 9 minutes long. All right. And then I got a couple articles to show you, and I'm gonna pass it over to my main man, Travis, who's gonna take us up out of here. He literally texted me this weekend and said, "Yo, we are about to wow them. Like the information I got for them is gonna wow them today." And he's been sending me little things here and there, and I don't even want to look into it because I'm like you guys. I want to be excited. So guys, if y'all are excited to be here on Coffee and Crypto, light it up. And if you're not excited, all right, we'll catch you on the flip side. So with that being said, let's go. Crypto in the Bahamas.
Well, Mike and Cathie, it's great to see you. This is an honor to be on stage with both of you.
Likewise.
So this will be a great conversation. We'll keep it sort of institutional focused. I know we've got a Wall Street and crypto audience here. Let's start with the big news of the last week. Fidelity getting into 401ks, letting employers have the option to put Bitcoin or allow Bitcoin as an investment in retirement funds. I'd love to get your take on this. Do you think it's a good idea?
I think it's a huge competitive advantage for them. I remember with my own IRA, I was trying with just GBTC to get it transferred and then also underlying Bitcoin, and nope, wouldn't. And no one wanted to provide the custody. So this is a breakthrough for crypto in the retirement asset world.
And as far as adoption as well, do you think this is a big deal for
Yes.
more people allocating to crypto?
I absolutely do. I do think so.
What about Galaxy? You're going to start offering Bitcoin in their 401ks?
We let all our guys do the 401k if they want. Listen, this is a story of adoption, right? Every year, every month, somewhere around the world, people are selling the Bitcoin story and people are deciding to store some of their hard-earned wealth in this digital asset secured by trust. And access is hard, right? Fidelity's customers are not 20 and 30 years old, right? They're baby boomers who don't feel as comfortable as some of you crypto degens.
So let me stop there, right? So let's talk about it, right? Let's because again, we're here to do research. All right. This is a heavily research oriented call, right? And so I don't want you guys to miss anything. All right. Number one, he said that a lot of the Fidelity customers are baby boomers, right? Our grandparents, right? And they aren't tech savvy. So understanding that that's where majority of the wealth, and we're going to get into that, but majority of the wealth, you got to understand, millennials, we make up 5% of the wealth. We really don't have a say so yet. We're still premature. We're still very young. There's a lot of wealthy millennials, but not the type of wealth that these baby boomers have, not the type of wealth that these Gen Xers have, right? But we will have our time, and our time is now. But if you don't take action, you'll never have your time. Now check this out. This was the SALT conference. All right, this was the SALT conference in the Bahamas, and I want you guys to pay attention to the back right here. You see SALT, but you see an exchange, right? You see FTX, pay attention.
Moving around crypto on your phones. And so as we get more people to have an easier access into the system, you're just going to see more people buying it. And you're going to see the same thing when the ETF happens, but knock on wood, it happens sometime. But I do think it will have an ETF this year, or maybe beginning of next year. You're going to see another wave of people. So the more people, we always forget crypto's only Bitcoin's only 13 years old. And really, from an institutional perspective, it didn't start until about 2 years ago. Right. And so we're
from an institutional perspective, it didn't start but 2 years ago. It's 13 years old, but institutionalized 2 years old. So are we in our infancy? Right? You got to understand infancy, right? This is a baby industry in the largest market in the world, guys. Let's go.
At the very beginning of this kind of adoption revolution. And I think it's a huge piece of news. I'm surprised the market didn't go up more yesterday.
Really?
The world's kind of in crises, but that's
Okay.
big news.
Yeah.
Kudos to Abby Johnson. She's been on
yeah.
Bitcoin for at least, I mean, I think 8-9 years. She used to mine in her office. She's the CEO of Fidelity. So she's been priming the company for this for a very long time.
Right.
I think it's a huge competitive advantage for Fidelity.
Absolutely. Well, I wonder when we're talking about mainstream portfolios, why they haven't gone a step further and started offering it for individual brokerage accounts. Do you expect that to be next for Schwab, Fidelity, and some of the big players?
Well, I do think that that Fidelity has basically it's open sea competition now. So I think they're going to be forced into this.
What does that mean, you think, for FTX, for Coinbase, for some of the crypto exchanges? Is that a competitive threat?
To some extent, I mean, sure, at the margins, this is retirement accounts at Fidelity, as Mike said, a certain demographic and so forth, but not really the demographic that is moving rapidly into this world.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sort of dipping their
So
toes in.
one reason it's such a big deal is the lion's share of the wealth in America and in the West is still owned by baby boomers, right? Millennials make up 30% of the workforce. They own 5% of the wealth. Sorry, guys, you guys got to get on the stick. And so the big wealth of America is owned by people that aren't as crypto literate. And so giving them easier access is a big deal. I think whoever goes first, Schwab, Fidelity, with the brokerage accounts, and it's just fear, right?
Yeah.
They want to see one of them go first and they'll all go.
Right.
It's like when Paul Jones got in the hedge fund space and wrote that letter, it opened up the door for every other hedge fund to participate. Because now you can be right or wrong on the bet, but you're not going to feel stupid.
Is there anything on the regulatory side you think they're waiting for? We got the executive order, but is there something that could come out of Washington that would make them feel comfortable in the near term?
I think it's time. It literally is. Again, Texas teachers wrote a letter that they're going to invest in both venture and coins themselves. Really brave thing to do for a big state pension fund. Strategic, right? Texas wants Bitcoin people to come there just like Miami wants them. And so they're saying, okay, we're going to send a message to people that we're future forward thinking. But that opens the door for other pension funds.
Right.
Texas teachers can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Cambridge Associates, which is one of the consultants to the pension world, they actually rang the bell for this. I'm going to say in 2018, they wrote a report to their institution saying, you may not like this, but it is a new asset class and you have to make a decision one way or the other. So that was a little bit of a booster, but then many institutions are looking at the regulatory environment and saying, well, okay, that's not clear yet. I don't think we can take this risk. So, once we get clarity, more clarity, and I do think the president's executive order is important, getting everyone in gear. And I think really important is Janet Yellen, Secretary of the Treasury, a year ago, I was asked probably on CNBC, why she hated, why she was so down on crypto, the environmental, the illicit activity, and so forth. She had nothing positive to say. Boom, 1 year later, the president and I'm wondering, okay, someone's whispering in their ears.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not someone whispering. It's the crypto community yelling.
That's true. That's true.
No, it's not someone whispering. It's the crypto community yelling
in their ears.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not someone whispering. It's the crypto community yelling.
That's true. That's true.
There are 50 million owners of crypto in America. Probably 25 million really passionate single issue voters, and so Democratic politicians had a wake up call. I mean, it's shocking. I'm a Democrat. Cathie's not, so we can.
Okay, hold on. So pay attention to this. I'm a Democrat, right? That's Mike Novogratz. You don't know who that guy is? Research him. Look him up on LinkedIn. Follow him on Twitter. Cathie Wood. Don't know who that is? Look her up on LinkedIn. Follow her on Twitter. Stay plugged in. So you got bipartisan, two bipartisan people, Democrat, Republican. They're turning this into the bipartisan type of thing. It's Democrat versus Republicans. It's who's going to get chosen for the next seat. It's the Democrats understanding that, hey, the Republicans are really stepping up in the innovation space. And they're not the ones. See, it's not smart to go against crypto. This is the 12th sector of the S&P 500. And if you watch this full video, he even says this as a Democrat. So something that Mike Novogratz, just said, which is crazy, is listen again, real quick, listen again.
Had a wake-up call. I mean, it's shocking. I'm a Democrat. Cathie's not. So we can get both sides of the aisle. How many politicians are reaching out to Galaxy, to me, say, hey, can you educate us? They realize they need an opinion. Being anti-crypto is really bad politics.
This is a bipartisan issue. That's what's so great about it, right?
Are you finding that it's bipartisan? It feels like we've had some high profile testimonies in front of Congress where both sides of the aisle really have gone after crypto, but it seems actually like Republicans may be embracing it slightly more. Would you?
Yes, and I think, one of the differences is, and now this is a Democrat, Senator Wyden, he's embracing crypto because it's a new technology first. Whereas you'll have others on the more progressive side who are not, because they're thinking from a financial services point of view, and they have certain constituencies there. So I think those who are thinking technology first, we cannot lose this competition globally. The US needs to be at the bleeding edge. This is the next generation internet, right? These are revolutions, money, financial services, and NFTs are next generation internet. So I think those who are thinking about it from a technology point of view have a much easier time supporting it. Got it.
So we'll stop there, right? Long, a lot of information. But look, I need y'all to realize that this is happening, right? It's already happened, right? And so I got a few more things that I got to kind of show you guys what's happening in the ultimate span of things, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, and let's get bullish. All right, so first things first is FTX. Now, this SALT conference happened last month, all right, 2 weeks ago, actually, to be more. So it happened in the Bahamas. Now, I want to show you guys something. FTX will begin to move key operations to Bahamas as part of an HQ shift. Why? Because the Bahamas, hold on. I went deep today. See, I deep dove this morning. See, the Bahamas, on the other hand, has a framework for crypto firms already in place. They got a framework for crypto firms already in place. Now let's go over here. Jewel Bank. You don't know about it, write it down. The digital asset banking platform based in Bermuda and serving digital asset companies globally. We are a full service bank providing multi-currency services, including fiat on and off ramps, lending, digital asset custody, stable coins, and a real-time settlement network for institutions. It's here, built to serve the digital future. We built the Jewel Bank digitally native from the ground up with a singular focus on being the bank of choice for the world's largest digital exchanges, institutional investors, market makers, and prop trading firms. These customers have specialized needs that are not being met by traditional banks due to legacy technology, outdated business practices. So these companies are moving forward. As you can see, stable coins, settlement exchange, core banking, digital asset custody, collateralized lending, API-based services. Why Bermuda? Well, the island of Bermuda, through its membership in the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, is also a member in the Financial Action Task Force, the intergovernmental body comprising over 200 countries, right? So it looks like Bermuda is all in on crypto. They've created the very first, bank that is able, and if you look at their website, it says dltjewel.com. What is that? DLT, Distributed Ledger Technology Jewel.com. This was a bank that already was available. This was a bank that already was a thing. This isn't something new, right? So boom, we go there to go a little bullish, right? Then I went and I dug a little further, And Gary, he's starting, look, good old Gary, right? SEC leaders with nearly 50 years of experience quit under Gary Gensler's tenure, right? So who were these leaders, right? So more than a dozen staff attorneys have also left the agency. People not rocking with Gary. People not liking this guy, Mr. Burns, right? So check this out. Check this out. Latest to hit the exit are 3 senior officials with nearly 50 years collective tenure at the agency. Christina Littman, all right, head of the crypto assets and cyber unit, who spent nearly 12 years at the SEC. She spent 12 years. Where do you think Christina Littman is gonna go? Let's go look. Let's go. Chris, let's see if it's already, maybe it's already there. She probably already exposed it. Christina Littman. And remember, I didn't even look this up. This is for research purposes only, guys. Christina Littman, LinkedIn. All right, let's see where she at. Christina, let's see. So $11 years and 9 months, all right, at the Securities Exchange Committee or Commission. I wonder where she'll go, right? Probably to some blockchain company. You know what I mean? Let's pay attention. Let's stay on it, right? This lady, right, has a lot of experience under her belt, 12 years at the SEC. So that's cool, right? Let's keep going, right? Who else? Jennifer Leedy, right? Associate Director in the Division of Enforcement, who was with the agency for 23 years. And Adam Adderton, co-chief of the Division of Enforcement's Asset Management Unit, a 14-year SEC veteran. What you guys got to realize is Gary Gensler was put into office through the Democratic Party, right? So what's going to happen now is that when these Republicans, all right, because I do believe that there's going to be a flip in our government, and I don't think the Democrats are going to be in all. That's just my thing. I don't think they're going to be in all. I believe we'll see a Republican office again. And when that happens, there's going to be a lot of pressure on good old Gary. He's going to have to abide by the rules. And something that I thought about, and Travis, I'm about to pass this over to you, but something that I got like 5 more minutes, something that I thought about. All right, when it comes to good old Gary and this whole cryptocurrency space is this. There are industries that have people who I can't think of the word, and maybe you can put it in chat box for me, but there are tobacco, alcohol, they all have these parties that back them up. What's the name of those? Drop that in the chat box if you guys can help me out, right? But they all have these parties. And what you got to realize is big tobacco is $1 trillion industry. It's not going anywhere. These people are not going to allow you to take tobacco away. That's why you can't get rid of it. Alcohol is the same way. You won't be able to get rid of it, right? So cryptocurrency is the same way. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and it's moving into multi-trillion-dollar industry in the next 10 years. This industry is not going anywhere. So with that being said, guys, last couple things that I got to show you all is next thing is this, right? Ripple. Okay, Ripple and Lunu partner to enable luxury retailers to accept cryptocurrency payments, right? Now, look, I won't go too deep because I believe maybe there might be more bullish information because I didn't dive deep into this. Travis, put a thumbs up if you can handle this. Perfect, right? And then very last, but certainly not least, you guys need to really understand the US probes Binance over token that is now world's 5th largest currency, right? The SEC is investigating whether BNB was a security when sold in 2017, right? This is really big news. And this is why we've seen this market BNB coin drop, right? That's why we've seen that token drop, 10% or 9% over the last day, okay? Because of what's happening, all right? And there's a lot of information here. What I'm gonna do is just for the sake of time, I'll drop this article for you all in the chat box so you can go and read up on it yourself, all right? But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my screen off, and I'm gonna pass it over to the right to my main man, Trav. Let's go.
Yo, what's up, family? So I'm real excited today. Like I was saying, I had a great day yesterday. And God has really been moving in my life, and it's is really, really bullish for all of us. Because I want to show you guys the state of what's really happening in the crypto space beyond just investments, on an educational level. And the reason why I want to share this is because there's multiple colleges that already have blockchain educational programs and degree programs. But yesterday, I was fortunate enough to visit a golf outing for the Prairie State Foundation, which is a community college in my town. But I just want to show you a short clip. Can you guys all see my screen? Vince, give me some verbiage if you can see my screen.
We can see it.
Okay, awesome. So I got to go to this golf course, and just to show you guys, you know, the type of people that were there. You know, they had a helicopter there, and they had you know, they were able to drop some balls and do a raffle from this helicopter. But I just wanted to show that clip real quick. And then also I wanted to show you guys this email that I got from the president of the Prairie State College. He said, "Staying connected, let's stay connected." And he gave me his phone number. So I was able to connect on a level. I was educating these guys. I grew up caddying at Olympia Fields Country Club. It's one of the most prominent country clubs in the state of Illinois. They have 2 country clubs that are ranked in the top 10 golf courses in Illinois. And I was sitting at a table yesterday in a dining hall with gentlemen that I used to caddy for growing up, wealthy gentlemen. And I had my plate, and I was looking around for a seat. The table was kind of crowded, and the president of Prairie State, who I had talked with on the balcony for a short bit about crypto, he said, "Hey, come sit over here. We'll make room for you." So I just want you guys to know that your gift will make room for you. So now I'm connected with the president of a college that wants to get information about starting a program on blockchain education and crypto information for his students. So that was just something that happened in my life yesterday. I want to share that with you guys. But let's get into this bullish content without further ado. So I thought it was interesting, Vince, that you talked about Binance, because I definitely wanted to talk about that myself as well for a brief moment. I want to start with that because, you know, Binance, they've launched an investigation, like Vince said, on the token BNB to see if it is a security. But one thing I thought that was interesting was it says, just like what happened to XRP, the SEC just announced that it has now started an investigation on Binance's BNB token to determine whether or not it is considered a security. Binance's BNB token had its initial coin offering back in 2017, and the agency is now determining whether or not it should have been registered as security with the agency. So I scroll down a little bit, and it says, the SEC is also reportedly investigating the exchange's U.S. arm Binance to ensure it is appropriately differentiated from its global counterpart. The Internal Revenue Service and Department of Justice are also taking a closer look at Binance to gain insight into its business, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission has also reportedly launched an inquiry into whether Binance allowed U.S. residents to trade on its platform. Currently, the BNB token is ranked 5th, largest crypto when measured by total market cap and followers. Bitcoin and follows, it should be follows, they have bad grammar, but anyways, follows Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, and USDC. The success of the token may be a reason why the SEC decided to target the crypto, as it seems strange that the SEC would take action after 5 years after the coin's ICO. Many investors are already comparing this to the current XRP lawsuit that the SEC initiated back when XRP was considered the second largest crypto by market cap. The SEC's actions against XRP was also many years after XRP's ICO, which is actually incorrect because XRP never had an ICO, which makes BNB's situation very similar. So the US SEC has launched legal actions against crypto-based companies for allegedly selling unregistered securities. Most notoriously, the commission is currently in a legal battle against payment company Ripple and 2 of its executives for this reason. The legal battle is yet far from over, but recent developments don't seem to favor the regulator. In that sense, legal expert Colin Belton commented the following on the probe against Binance Coin. It's been 5 years and its market cap is higher than most US companies. Why wait this long to take potential action if you're concerned about potential harm? Letting things balloon only to prick it once massive seems like a recipe for inducing consumer harm rather than staving it off, which is exactly what happened with Ripple. They waited and they did not protect the retail investors. They harmed them, which is clear. And then one more final part I want to show you guys. So that's pretty much that. I want to play for you guys this short video because I want to go into Senator Loomis and Senator Gillibrand. They both just dropped a bill concerning regulatory clarity for crypto.
Senator Gillibrand, let's break it down for people who haven't seen the details yet. I think the most important part is that it declares that things like Bitcoin and Ether are commodities, and so they would be regulated by the CFTC. A lot of other things would be considered equities to be regulated by the SEC. How did you come about with kind of deciding this? How much squabbling is there? Because there has been some interregulatory kind of dispute about who should be able to regulate this between the CFTC and the SEC.
The most important goal of this legislation was to create safety and soundness, to create consumer protections, transparency, accountability, and certainty. When we met with industry leaders, they basically said, we just need to know what the rules of the road are. We've been seeking regulation from various regulators, and the delays in response have been unconscionable. And so what we did was common sense. We used existing definitions. If you're a security, you're going to pass the Howey test, which is the securities definition. And for CFTC, we already had the futures market, so we added the spot market for cryptocurrencies. And we look at each digital asset's purpose. And based on the purpose, we've aligned the regulatory framework around that purpose.
Already, though, there's squabbling that's continued, that's going back and forth. People saying, look, how can you regulate a decentralized effort to begin with? And by the way, aren't there conditions where some of these things would be considered equities and should be regulated by the SEC? You're right. This has taken a really long time. And the industry is kind of pushing back, and others are too, jumping in on this. I guess that gets me back to that original question, Senator Gillibrand. How much support do you have? Do you think that this is something that the Senate will get behind?
I do. And I think this is just day one. And our goal is to make sure this goes through the 4 committees of jurisdiction. It takes a long time to build a regulatory framework for a new industry. And we expect this to go through the banking committee, which Cynthia is on. It'll go through the agriculture committee, which I am on. It will go through intelligence, and it'll go through financial services. These committees will have pieces of the bill because they only regulate parts of this industry. And regulation is necessary. You need to make sure that you have consumer protections. You need basic rules of the road, and that's what this legislation provides. We think there's going to be a lot of momentum behind this bill, having met with most of the industry stakeholders and the experts in this field. And we're just going to work with them over time to continue to improve the bill.
Okay. So out of out of that video, I got one very interesting thing. She brought up the Howey test, which is one of the reasons why Ripple is currently being sued. They're comparing Ripple to a security. Well, in this slide that I have from Twitter, I want to show you a very interesting part of the bill. So it says, the term digital asset does not include an asset that provides the holder of the asset with any of the following rights in a business entity: a debt or equity interest in that entity, a profit or revenue share derived from that entity, an entitlement to an interest or dividend payment from that entity. So out of that description, none of those things apply to XRP. The bill strokes me as giving clarity for Bitcoin and ETH specifically, while other digital assets are lumped under certain conditions to be qualified as a commodity or security. I still see an unfair advantage given to Bitcoin, Ethereum over other digital assets. Tell me why I'm wrong. Well, he's clearly correct that Bitcoin and Ethereum have gotten an unfair advantage, but the bill clearly defines the tokens as commodities and requires crypto projects to file financial reports, much like Ripple already does. I'm not sure what the issue is. So the great thing about this bill is that it's making way for things that Ripple's already doing. They're already providing financial reports. That's very, very important, because there is another part of the bill that is, it's making it hard for anonymous projects, for projects that aren't having people with a face in front of them, which is very, very important, because Bitcoin does not have a face in front of it. You don't know who owns Bitcoin. You don't know who started the company. You don't know who's behind the project. So it's very, very crucial to look at these things. And I want to show you one more thing. So the interesting thing about this is that, so one thing I know is that I was on the call with Global. I was on the call with Global last Wednesday for the crypto call, and he said that cryptocurrency has been planned for decades. And it really has been, because this right here is a patent for a computer system for distributed ledger technology. It's a multi-level distributed computer system for distributed processing, preferably includes a plurality of personal computers, which is what DLT is. It allows your computer to act as a node to validate a transaction. Anyone can operate on the Ripple network. Now, this patent was applied for in 1988 by David Schwartz Enterprises, who is currently the CTO, the Chief Technical Officer of Ripple. Now, this is an article from Forbes, Ripple's $1 trillion man. Now, this article was printed in 2018. But one thing I want to show you guys is a part of David's background. So David, during his decade there in Santa Clara, California, where he helped design an early cloud-based storage system, during his decade there, he also consulted for the NSA, the National Security Agency, helping integrate the agency's network software with the existing security and public key infrastructure technology. So I didn't actually pull this up, but I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the NSA. But the NSA is a national security agency and the CIA is a central intelligence agency. Both the NSA and the CIA are federal agencies of the US that deal with the security, law enforcement, and intelligence of the country. So I say all that to say, we have someone that's applied for a patent in 1988 for the same technology that's being used in Ripple. Not only that, he was working with a major part of the intelligence community in our government, a federal agency. That's his background. He also was working with CNN, developing cloud storage for them as well. That's a heavy propaganda arm of the mainstream media. So he has ties to our government. So all these things that have been occurring lately are just being rolled out to the public slowly because they need to be able to accept the transition. You can't force things on people all at once. So I say all that to say, we're pretty much safe with XRP because of the fact that it does not apply to the Howey test. It's a digital asset. It's a debt. None of these things apply to Ripple. None of these things apply. A debt or equity interest in that entity, none of these things apply to XRP. A debt or equity interest in that entity, a profit or revenue share derived from that entity, an entitlement to an interest or dividend payment from that entity. We're not getting any of those from the entity. It is separate completely from Ripple. It is an individual asset.
Amazing. Amazing. And now that we're talking about the assets, yo, Trav, you went crazy, man. And now that we're talking about the asset, I want to make it more fun. Right now, class, everybody. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. All right. We just hit over 50 subscribers in the last 2 days, like 2-3 days since we've had the new YouTube. So if you're not subscribe to the new YouTube, man, y'all drop the link for us. Drop the link in the chat box for them so they can go and subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, and then click that notification bell because this episode will be up and you want to be able to go back and watch this. Now, real quick, I got a question for everybody. All right. Bitcoin price prediction. Where's Bitcoin going in the next 10 years? What price do you guys think? And I got the juice. I just want to know from y'all, what do you think? But I got the key. I know where it's going. I know where it's going. $1 million. $1 million. And I'm not scared to say it. $1 million. That's what it's so if you own Bitcoin, hold it. If you have a Bitcoin, hold it. You know, if you got a Bitcoin, go ahead and hold that thing. All right. Because guess what? With that market going up, it's going to allow for a lot of the other altcoins to go up with it. We already know what time it is. So look, check this out. All right. I got one last thing. All right. From my girl right here. All right. Cathie Woods. I got one more last thing from Mike and Cathie. They're going to let you know exactly, because these are the people that you want to listen to. They got the insider information, right? So check this out.
You have $100,000, or ARK has $100,000 price target on
1
Bitcoin.
million.
1 million, excuse me. Wow, $1 million price target.
Yes.
Walk us through 1 million, excuse me. Wow, $1 million price target.
Yes.
Walk us through some of the data and factors you're looking at, and how do you get from 38,000 to $1 million bucks in a decade, less than a decade?
Yeah, less than a decade. You will find the building blocks of this in our Big Ideas 2022 presentation. It's on our site, ark-invest.com. But the largest the largest component of that is we do believe that Bitcoin will usurp 50% of gold's role. This is digital gold. So that's roughly a $5 trillion opportunity right there. So the smallest one is remittances. We think that it will take most of the remittance market. The remittance market is a $600 billion market. We have insurance policies, high net worth individuals watching, confiscation of wealth.
Right.
And with all the turmoil in emerging markets and elsewhere, the Middle East, who knew that MBS was going to take his cousin's wealth away? So don't they wish they had some Bitcoin and private keys away? So don't they wish they had some Bitcoin and private keys? So also companies allocating some of their cash or diversifying some of their cash into Bitcoin. We've seen Tesla do that, Coinbase, Square. of course, MicroStrategy.
Right.
And you're going to see some countries putting Bitcoin into their treasury.
Right.
We assume only 1%. So if you look at the building blocks and then finally institutional, how much will institutional investors account for this? Well, we assume that institutional investors will put 2.5% of their allocation to Bitcoin.
Right.
And that isn't even as big as the global digital gold opportunity.
Mike, do you have a Bitcoin price target? And I'd love to hear too, what you're hearing from institutions, high net worth individuals you talk to, about why they're getting in or some of the biggest barriers to entry as well.
Hey, Mike look rich. Hey, Mike rich. That man got on Louis Vuitton shiny shoes and a Gucci jacket. Come on, man.
Yeah, listen, I actually go to sleep praying that Bitcoin doesn't go to $1 million in a short period of time, because that would mean civil society is broken down in the US, right?
No, it wouldn't. That would mean that he don't get to invest no more into it.
Look at a place like Turkey, where you had horrific stewardship of the economy, right? Erdogan did just a terrible job, and their currency devalues. Working middle class people lose their savings. And so in a lot of ways, Bitcoin is a report card on financial stewardship. And in a lot of ways, Bitcoin is a report card on financial stewardship. And so in a lot of ways, Bitcoin is a report card on financial stewardship. And you hope that the US can get their act together between Chairman Powell and Janet Yellen. And if they do, the US, and then if Europe does, the West isn't going to need to flood into Bitcoin, right? If we lose control of our economy, right? If we lose control of inflation, if governments can't restrict themselves and just keep pay for all student loans, pay for it, like it's really popular to pay for stuff, and confidence breaks down, you'll see Bitcoin really accelerate. And so I don't want it to really accelerate wildly in the short term, just for all our safety. I do think in the medium term, it's just a grind, because there's almost no way we get out of this debt trap without inflating our way out, right? There's just too much debt in the US, in Europe, and around the world. And so you've got to inflate your way out of this, right? The US has got to run 4% inflation, act like it's 2%, and just hope it doesn't go this way. Right? Otherwise, we're going to have this debt that's going to saddle generations, right? And so I do think you're going to see Bitcoin grind up because of this adoption. People are going to be like, wait a minute, 7% inflation this year, 4% inflation. Bitcoin is deflationary, or pretty close to deflationary. And so I think it's a much steadier mission. I do think 500,000, right? That's gold, if you want to think about it. So just to replace gold, you get to 500,000. Depending on where gold goes. I think gold's going to go higher as well. And so I'm a medium term 500,000 guy, and I think we could get to 1 million at one point, but I don't.
Wow. You know, so that's what I foresee in our future. You know, all I want to say is stay bullish, my friends. It's been an absolutely amazing call. This was Coffee and Crypto, another episode, guys. Listen, we got a lot of big things happening very, very soon. You know, y'all are our tribe. You know what I mean? You really the tribe. So I'm gonna let y'all know, we'll probably have a name change. All right. This show probably is going to go through a very early on change. There's some things that we see need to be changed. And as a CEO, I feel like, and as a chief visionary officer, I feel like it's important for me to keep the vision pressing forward. It's important for us to make crypto fun again. You know, Donald Trump wanted to make America great again. We're going to make crypto fun again. I believe that listening to a lot of these crypto enthusiasts out here on YouTube and YouTubers, they're just not that fun. They don't really, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of boring information, right? So we got to make crypto fun again here, all right, in the Vincent Owens Group. So I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for tuning in. Listen, you already know how we do it. You know, I'm allowed for anybody, maybe 1 or 2 people. I do got a haircut appointment, so I got to get up out of here, all right? So I appreciate you guys. Listen, make sure you stick around. I'm going to go ahead and close out the recording right now. It's been another successful Let's Go